Hello everyone, welcome back to this new video. I mean, you weren't bored for the time I didn't upload because I have the most frequent upload plan, you know. Anyway, so what are we going to do today? Well, as you can see in the title, I will make a breakdown for you for my newest artwork. I think you already saw how it looked with all the vegetation and stuff like that enabled. I called it the Kingdom, or work title Large Terrain Test. Somehow I always call my projects test because I'm not sure if I can finish them or if I have the motivation to finish them. I will go over some of the techniques, especially the water technique, which I think looks super amazing in this one, and also the castles, because I think they turned out very nice, and I can spoiler you a little bit, they mostly took like 5 minutes to do, so I found a pretty nice way to create castles that look from the distance pretty nice. Or actually I will just start with the whole terrain, because that's what started everything. We got this mountains here and some other terrains, and those belong to plain first. So this was the plane I started off, and I was like, how do I want to do this? I saw a video of Jazza, I watched a video of Jazza where he built, I think, also a giant landscape but in real life, and I was like, okay, what if I just do the same thing but in 3D? And so started, but I got lazy on the way, and after I sculpted this whole mountain, I already was way too lazy to do the rest with everything else, so I quickly only sculpted some things here and there. And then I started doing other stuff and also setting up the camera. About the sculpting itself, it's not much of a deal. I just took these things can I erase? Oh, I can erase. Okay, that's nice. So I took the peaks and just built them a little bit up so they looked like peaks and not just and weren't just spots with a high resolution. And I think then I started already building the castles around them. As you can see from when you look at it in edit mode, or when you get close to it, it doesn't look like that much. Oh, that's actually not that bad, even in edit mode. But again, when you look from distance and just see the silhouette, I think it does the job, and I'm way too lazy to do anything else, so yeah, that's how I help myself. So I guess I will just build a new one just for you, to show you how I did this, because I think the message in the method is pretty simple and yet so powerful. So the first thing I do is place some random cubes with different scales, which kinda should show how my castle will look in the end. Usually I have the ground, so let me just add that as well. Let's say this is our beautiful ground. We spent a lot of time sculpting that. So now I'm building a castle around it. Usually I'm building for the camera angle, so it's not like I'm it's not like I spend too much time in other angles. I just make the whole thing how I think it looks cool from a certain angle, so when I change it, it will look bad directly. Let me just quickly do this. Let's say this was our beautiful castle. The first thing, it's basically a 3 modifier system. First I add a remesh modifier, which, as you can see, kind of smoothens out the whole thing and connects all the loose parts. And then I use a block modifier to give it a lot of detail with literally 0 effort. The last thing I do is put again a remesh on that, but with IRS. Then I usually go ahead and do that. Boom. Add some windows, maybe also scale this. And as you can see, we're getting something that looks kind of like a castle. But from the far, you can't tell. Okay, I said we will go in with the water and we will do it. I think I found a pretty cool technique for doing this kind of water. I already heard from someone they don't really like it, but I think it still looks amazing. I really wanted this like light blue greenish look. I took inspiration from the new Blender screen of, I think, Blender 3.4. They're coming pretty fast now, but 3.3 also had a pretty nice water texture. This looks good from like this angle. When you're looking from this or this, it looks amazing. But when you go on top, you already see what magic is behind this. Because first of all, we got a simple glass material which is mixed with a glossy shader, but only slightly, and a transparent. So you can see my caustics. The water texture has some color to it, some darker color, lighter, something in the direction of purple, and again some blue. Scattered around with a noise texture, then another noise texture for some displacement. So this, what you can see right there, the light bounces. And now when we go into the camera, you can clearly see it's not the only thing. Like when let me just disable this. This is how the water would look without it. I mean, it still looks cool, but I think these strokes in there and some more lighter color still look better. And so there's the thing. As you can see here, it's not very hard to notice. This is just noise texture with one light color and two dark colors, which leads to some lines in light. In a light color, then of course in emission texture, so you can see it through the water, which then creates this. I think it's called caustics, actually, because when you have, for example, normal water, you can always see those lines in the water, which are basically light bounces, and I tried to act like there were some by adding this plane. Also, deactivate this so it's better. So as you can see, I think it turned out very nice, and I spent too much time of the whole render working on this, so I hope you like it, like I do. And now finally some quick ones, which I don't think I spent too much time on, but I think they are still worth mentioning, because we have, of course, a lot of particles, and when I zoom to them, you might already see what they actually are. Because when you go like here, you wouldn't notice that this are just basically planes. I can also show you. These are basically the models I used for the tree. The tree. Oh, it's not working. The tree and the leaf and just regular grass, and I have another tree here as well. Now it's so amazing that you can erase this. I didn't know how you would do that, so I was always struggling to use it. So I scattered them around everywhere and added lots of them in final render. Let me just, for education purpose, do a quick render of this with not the highest settings, just to show you how this would look. Okay, so here we have it, and as you can see, this vegetation from the far just looks normal. I wouldn't see a difference between this and like normal vegetation, or at least I wouldn't see I wouldn't see how this couldn't be a good replacement for 3D render by me, who is like the laziest person on the planet. So it's fine, it's doing its job. We also got a little bit of compositing. This one was added at last when I looked over the render for a final time. And I think I usually had this color set to, yeah, that's the color I used before. I have a little bit of glare to round the edges. Got a bit of color correction, which I always use. And then an ellipse mask, which just gives a nice vignette. Other than that, I have a few light sources, and I use the sky texture, which comes with Blender default. I really got into using this and not an HDRI because I think it gives you fairly enough control. Like, you can change a lot of stuff in here. Clouds, I didn't see a purpose for them, although I might have wanted to add them when I look at it now. But it's just a free HDRI, so I used that one in this render. But I think that's it with the video, because yeah, as you can see, I will just blend in now how the render looks finally, just for you to see a last time. And then I'm saying see you in the next one. I hope this comes out a bit not that late again, but I'm struggling with my upload plan because I don't know what to do. Minecraft videos might come as well. I have to start animating Manhunt one time again, but I'm just not finding the time for it. And when I don't have the time, I'll just do breakdowns and time lapses. But let's see how this goes. See ya!